Hey, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. Thanks for tuning in to The Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM. If you're interested in sponsoring my show, you can send me an email to themikewagnershow@gmail.com, or you could also donate to the podcast. Just go to the Donate Listen site, and you can also donate whatever you like. Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. For those who are interested, Anchor can give you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. We got creation tools, allows you to record and edit podcasts so it sounds great, and they'll distribute the podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere. Spotify, Apple, Google, many more. And you can make money from the podcast with no minimum listenership. So download the Anchor app for free or go to Anchor FM to get started.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention The Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, and over 35 podcast platforms. Take The Mike Wagner Show on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with a wonderful director, comedian, actor, singer, and athlete of all things from Salt Lake City. He's got a movie out called Once Is Enough. It's an award-winning documentary. It's a part documentary and part stand-up comedy. Just very inspiring and very heartwarming. And of course, he got a BFA degree in theater at Missouri State University. He's appeared on Late Night with David Letterman, appeared on 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. And of course, it's about the transformational journey of a 32-year-old comedian as well, too. So live, ladies and gentlemen, from beautiful Salt Lake City, ladies and gentlemen, the very, very multi-talented Jeffrey James Binney. Jeffrey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Good morning, Mike. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's great. I love having you on. So you're basically a director, comedian, actor, singer, and an athlete. Of course, you live in Salt Lake City. You grew up in Laredo, Missouri, and you have a movie called Once Is Enough. It's an award-winning documentary, and of course, just an amazing journey. We'll talk more about that. And before we get to all that, tell us how you got started in your career.
Yeah, well, I grew up in a pig farm in Missouri, and I was never a very good pig farmer, never much of a farm boy. And I had started in music. I started taking piano when I was 4 years old, and that led to singing. That led me to study musical theater. And so I studied musical theater in college and then moved to New York and then later LA, pursuing acting, a comedy career. So that's how I ended up here in a nutshell.
Wow, that is something. And did you get to sing for the pigs by any chance too, or?
Oh, I sang for them. I danced for them. Full productions, I'm sure. I was a handful as a kid.
Well, we'll do that sometime as well, too. And what was that one moment that influenced you into precisely what you're doing? Is like, what was your big aha moment to say, hey, this is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life?
Yeah, well, when I was a little kid, I hated piano. My mom, she thought it would work if she videoed the epic fits I would throw when she made me practice the piano, but it didn't work. I still threw them. I hated it. And there was a moment when we were in the grocery store. We saw some acquaintances of my parents, and they had seen me play the piano, a recital, and they commented on how well I did. And it was the point where I actually was, not playing silly nursery rhymes anymore and was advancing into more complex compositions. And it suddenly became fun when people were noticing that I wasn't half bad. And from then on, I was just addicted. It was a real shift for me. I loved performing from that moment on. I think I just need attention, maybe.
And I can imagine too, it's like, here's my impersonation of Schroeder. Bam!
Yeah, I couldn't have been that good.
Oh, I know. Of course, I had Lucy over there just like making critical comments. He goes, here's my masterpiece. Bam. Well, and of course, he also moved on as well, too. Of course, being a comedian as well, too. And, just a couple things. Who are some of your favorite comedians and movie stars growing up?
Yeah, well, when I was a little kid, I loved Friends. I loved the comedy of Friends. Even looking back, I still love it. I also remember really loving Ellen. I remember her TV show. I remember when she came out, and I remember me watching my parents watch that show to see how they reacted to her coming out live on air. So she's definitely a big one. Contemporary comedians. I love Nate Bargatze. I don't know if you're very familiar with him. He's a newer comedian from New York. We did some coaching with him because I just so love his style of comedy. So that's a handful of my favorites.
Mm-hmm. And what are some a handful as well too, like with going back to old school and maybe some that you're following today, like say you're kind of just emulating your style.
Yeah, well, Phyllis Diller, if you know who Phyllis Diller was, I love Phyllis.
Yeah, she was hilarious. Oh my god.
Yeah, I loved Phyllis Diller. I also really loved Lily Tomlin. What else? Well, a lot of Lily Tomlin. I don't know. I'm blanking now that I'm put on the spot, but there's a few of them, I guess.
And I'm sure I'll come up too, and I could hear Lily Tomlin calling right now. Hello, may I help you?
Yeah, I love like all those SCTV days. I for some reason I've always enjoyed female comedians much more. I never really bought into that old tired stereotype that women aren't funny. I always gravitated towards female comics.
and of course, we'll talk about your movie Once Is Enough as well, too. And first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition rate. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We hear director, comedian, actor, singer, and athlete Jeffrey James Binney here on The Mike Wagner Show, talking about some of his influences growing up. And we'll get to a part about Once Is Enough in just a minute right here. You also appear with Late Night with David Letterman and do stand-up for Late Night. Tell us about your experience and what's it like being with David Letterman?
Yeah, well, it was fun. I didn't get to spend much time with him. I did an opening bit. It was from the Olympics. How many years ago? I don't know, too many. The women's gymnastics team was on, and they brought me in to do a bit at the top of the show, and it was great. It was so fun. That it's recorded live in New York in theater, and so that was an awesome experience. It's so cool to feel the energy in a live show. You don't get that when you're watching it on TV, but to be there during the taping, let alone to be a part of the show, it was awesome. It was once in a lifetime opportunity for sure.
And of course, you also did a bit with the Olympic gymnasts. And which one of the gymnasts that you really enjoyed working with, or what stood out to you?
I hardly got to chat with them. They swooped them in and swooped them right back out. It was right after the Olympics, and I think they said they had 4 more interviews that night, and we were taping at 4 p.m. So I barely got to chat with them, unfortunately.
Oh, my goodness. I think that would have been very phenomenal as well, too. And hopefully you'll come back as well, too. And I'll set my DVR this time close to the Olympics, so I'll remember to do that. And, of course, the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, and you can tell us about that. And, of course, you can tell us about that and maybe one of the hardest spelling words that you ever had encountered.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, well, the show was running on Broadway, and I got cast and sent to the Chicago company of the show. So I spent a little over a year with the Chicago company, and I started as an understudy. So I was understudying 3 different roles, and that was the first time I had ever understudied. So for my first 6 months, I was an understudy, and that's hard work, to know 3 different roles, not let alone the lines and the music, but where each person stands, every costume change, every prop switch. It was a really good learning experience. And then I moved into one of the roles full time that I had been understudying. And then I moved to the tour, and then I did the tour for a year as well. And I think the hardest word, one of them was staphylococcus, and I certainly can't still tell you how to spell it.
Well, first of all, what the heck is that, and what does that mean?
It's some sort of medical term. I think it's like a form, like a variety of a staph infection or something. I don't know. I'm sure your listeners are going to let you know that I'm incorrect, but it's some sort of medical term, I believe.
That must be supercalifragilisticexpialidocious of a word to say. I don't even know how to spell it myself. Oh, my goodness. And also, too, before we get your movie as well, too, any other plans after the whole COVID pandemic is done? Any other plans to be on tours or any Broadway appearances or anything coming up for you?
Yeah, well, hopefully once the clubs start to open back up, I'll have some bookings, and those will be on my website, of course. So hopefully you'll be able to see me on stage soon. Hopefully we're not in this too much longer. Other than that, I just have, a gazillion travel plans made. I'm just sitting on my sofa, booking tickets and planning backpacking trips. I'm just excited to get out and about again. I'm not very good at staying locked inside.
And did you say you'll be doing them in Salt Lake City, or do you be planning on going on a U.S. tour?
Yeah, well, that's a good question. I mean, if I can get the bookings, I'll be on a tour. But yeah, I mean, nothing right now. Everything was canceled. Unfortunately, all of our live screenings for the film, of course, have been canceled. We can't get 200 people together in a theater. So that's unfortunately one question I have zero answers to. Hopefully, it's not too long, and hopefully the bookings come back. So many industries have been hit so hard by this, but the entertainment industry, as all of the theatrical productions, Broadway, of course, that's shut down. Production has stopped on most film and television. So one of many industries that has really just been ravaged by this pandemic.
Mm-hmm. And of course, we'll talk about your movie Once Is Enough, which is going to be launching on May 8th or so around Mother's Day on Amazon. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition rate. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention The Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And over the 35 podcast platforms. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with director, comedian, actor, singer, athlete Jeffrey James Binney from Salt Lake City here on The Mike Wagner Show. And finally, we're going to get to the movie Once Is Enough. It's a award-winning documentary, part stand-up, and it's going to be launching around Mother's Day or so. And tell us about the terrific movie you were in.
Yeah, it comes out Mother's Day weekend. My mom passed away a number of years ago of heart disease, and the doctors made no bones about what was perpetuating her health issues. It was her weight. She was overweight by a lot. And she just, she could never seem to get it under control. And so, when we lost her, I was 340 pounds. I'm 6'2". I'm a big guy in general, but way overweight, was not living even or anything remotely close to a healthy lifestyle. And it really just flipped a switch in my brain. And I was pretty desperate to not end up in the same situation. So I was living in LA, and all I wanted to do was, write and tell jokes and disappear into the woods to run. And one of my friends said, well, maybe like you can turn that into something useful. Can you think of, a project? Can you direct that towards something valuable? And it just clicked. And this idea came to me. So the film is half stand-up comedy, half documentary, like you said. I decided that the most reasonable way to lose weight was to run a 100-mile ultra marathon. So the film documents the process of me training for and running this 100-mile ultra marathon. And then I wrote my first hour comedy show about the whole debacle. So the film is a juxtaposition of those two elements.
And it's amazing as well, too. I don't know if I could try a 100-mile ultrathon and try to lose 100 pounds at the same time. It's like I sometimes lose 100 pounds, just other ways unimaginable. I have to say that. So,
yeah, well, the nice thing is when you're running 70 miles a week training for these things, it's difficult not to lose weight. So it's a good way to do it. I don't know that it's the most reasonable or sane way to do it, but it worked for me.
And also you managed to meet up with Ian Sherman, ultramarathon runner, coach, and blogger for I Run Fair, who holds record for the Grand Slam of ultra running and won in 2013, 15, 16, and 17. And just tell us about this inspiration of yours.
Well, yeah, I decided to do this, and I knew that I needed help. I obviously had no idea what I was doing. And he, like you just mentioned, is a superstar in the ultra running world. I think it's been beaten now, but for a long time he held the fastest 100-mile time, which was like 12 hours and 30 minutes or something, insanely fast. So he was my number one choice, and I reached out and I just said, hey, I'm a 6'2", 340-pound ginger lumberjack. I want to run a 100-mile ultra marathon. Is there any chance you would be interested in training me and being a part of the film? And to my surprise, he said yes. So nice. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have happened if I hadn't had him along for the ride because, not that anyone would think it's a small undertaking, but I had no idea what I was in for. And I don't know how I would have survived if I hadn't had him there to, pick me up occasionally, physically and emotionally.
And also too with the training of the 100-mile ultrathon, it's like, what was the regiment that he had you go through in order to train, prepare, and everything? And I mean, it's like, what was a training routine like, and also a schedule as well too for this ultra marathon?
Yeah, well, you start light, of course, but then by the end, you're running 70-ish miles a week. You can't. Well, you can. I mean, the professional runners absolutely do. But for someone of my size and inexperience, for me to run 100 miles as part of training wouldn't have made sense because it takes so much time to recover from that. So you'd only be able to do a 100-mile run every few weeks. So instead, you can do a few different tactics with your training to simulate the same situation with your body, but without requiring that, that extensive recovery time. So at the end, my training schedule, looked like this. On Tuesdays, Monday, no running. It was a day off. Tuesdays, it would be anywhere from like 10 to 18 miles. On Wednesday, it would be a shorter run, less than 10 miles. Thursday, another medium length run, 10 to 18 miles. And then the weekend was all about the back-to-back runs. And that's really where the magic happens, if you want to call it magic. On Saturday, I would do usually around the marathon distance, so around 26 miles. And then the really important run each week is that next day I would run another marathon. And that last marathon of the week is the really important one, because as you can imagine, it's not enjoyable. It hurts your body. Your body does not want you to be running, but that's how you teach your body to be able to keep moving, even though it's not in tip-top shape. That's really, at the end of the day, what these ultra marathons are about, is being able to distinguish between temporary pain and long-term pain. If you're in the middle of one of these and you feel something that you've got something going wrong and it feels like it's a long-term issue, then you need to think about stopping. But I would say, 80 to 90% of the pain that you experience in one of these ultra marathons is usually temporary. So it's really important to gain those skills to be able to, number one, identify that it's temporary and it's going to go away. And then two, to just be able to keep plowing forward. It's really shocking how much you can put up with if you just don't quit.
And of course, as they say, no pain, no gain.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah. And of course, I know you got tired from the ultra marathon, but do you have any other plans, like, further down the road for another possible marathon, or anything like, say, with like bike riding or hiking or anything athletic like that? Or do you have any plans in terms of another sport you're going to be accomplishing?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm still trail running a decent amount. I did a few of the ultra marathons, and I'm hoping to get a few more on the calendar this fall and next winter. Assuming it's safe for us to go out and congregate by then. I would really, I love backpacking, so I do a lot of short weekend trips here in Utah, but I would really love to do a long through hike, like through hike the Pacific Crest Trail or the Appalachian Trail. One of those, really, really long trails. I've definitely never done anything like that, and it's right at the top of the list.
Mm-hmm. Any thoughts of maybe running in the Boston Marathon or the New York City Marathon?
Well, I would love to, but I'm slow. They call us Clydesdales. I think that's one thing that drew me to trail running and ultra running, is that it's so much less about speed. It's about finishing and about running smart. And that's the only thing that I think allowed me to enjoy running, because I've never enjoyed running before. Running on roads or in road races or in school in PE, I was always so slow, and so all I could do was compare myself to other people. But trail running, it's about the long haul. It's not about how fast you run a short distance. It's about how quick and you finish the 50 miles or whatever it is. So that adjustment to the thinking is what really turned me on to trail running. Once it wasn't about speed, that's how I got hooked.
It sounds like you really made it to the end. You're very, very persistent, and you accomplished a big goal. And what do you want viewers to get out of after watching Once Is Enough?
Yeah, well, the title of the film comes from a quote from Mae West that I've always loved. Mae West said, "You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough." And so that's really where I was at, was, seeing, losing my mom, seeing how volatile and fragile life can be. I just realized that, the years I had been saying, I'll lose weight, I'll do something athletic someday. The time was now. It wasn't in the future, because it might not happen. So I think, seize the day is hopefully the big takeaway that people are left with after they've watched the film.
Mm-hmm. And of course, when will that be coming out, and where can people watch your movie?
Yeah, Mother's Day weekend, May 8th, it will be available on Amazon. And then in the days and weeks to come after that, it will be on iTunes, YouTube Rentals, Tubi, Hulu, a number of other platforms, almost all of them. So Amazon, May 8th. And of course, onceisenoughfilm.com will always have the latest, most up-to-date news.
That is fantastic. Looking forward to that. Watching Once Is Enough in a couple more minutes with Jeffrey James Binney. We'll love to have you back on very soon. You've been great. And a couple of things. Who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
I think Ellen DeGeneres, both on and off stage. Not only do I love her comedic style, I love her message of kindness and togetherness. Her avoidance of negativity. I think in a lot of different ways. I very much look to her as a role model.
And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Don't give up. Just don't give up. I think that everyone is hears about this film and thinks, gosh, how could someone run 100 miles? But this is my first film project, and arguably making the film and getting it finished might have been more difficult than the run, if you can imagine. Mm-hmm. And there are so many opportunities for me to quit. And if it hadn't been such a personal story, if I hadn't felt like I owed it to my mom to finish this project and see it to the end, I probably would have given up a number of times.
Right,
so
exactly.
That's my advice. Yeah, don't give up. Just keep plugging along.
And what are upcoming projects in terms of films for 2020 and beyond?
Oh, I haven't even gotten that far. This was such a marathon project, literally and figuratively. I don't know what's next. I'm really unsure. What I am really excited about is getting back on stage. This has really dominated my time, and I haven't been able to write new material and get up on stage in front of an audience as much as I would like. So I think most of all, I'm just excited to get back up on stage and try to make some people laugh.
It sounds very exciting. Looking forward to having you back on soon and keep us up to date. And once again, Jeffrey James Binney here on the Mike Wagner Show. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects, your website, how do people contact you, and where can people purchase the movie?
Yeah, onceisenoughfilm.com. Also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Jeffrey Binney, JEFFREYBINNEY. But onceisenoughfilm.com will get you everything you need to know.
That's fantastic. Jeff, a big thank you for your time. You've been fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. We'd love you to have back on sometime in 2020 and beyond. You've been fantastic.
Thanks so much, Mike. Have a good one.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.